Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another fails video. I try to do these every now and then, rather routinely, just so that I can stay on top of the products that I'm trying and that are really fails. And this tends to focus heavily on skincare just because I feel like from month to month, I'm pretty much am able to routinely tell you guys what's working, what's not through my monthly series and whatnot and just the reviews that I do. But I tend to not focus too much on skincare on here. So I do like to sit down every now and then and give you guys my most recent fails just so you guys are aware of the products that really don't work for me in case you were curious about them, if you were curious if I've tried them, if you're curious if they're any good. I like to sit down and give you guys my experience with the products. So I think I have 5 products here and we'll just jump right in and get going. I almost put this in my last fails video, which I'll leave linked up here. But I actually recorded the part for it, but I ended up taking it out because I was like, you know what? Everyone likes this. I'm probably just crazy. And so I took it out and just totally took it. And also the video was long. So I was like, I'll take this part out. It was like 2-3 minutes of me talking, save some time. And I just felt like everyone loves this and I'm definitely the oddball out. And then a couple weeks after that video went up, JenLuv's Reviews did a video on lip balms, and turns out that this one doesn't really have much in it that really helps your lips. So anyway, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not over here going crazy because I'm the only one who doesn't like it. Because this was totally going to go in my fails video. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put in my fails video now. And if people disagree, hey, that's okay. We can all disagree. But yeah, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask is a total fail for me. I'm over halfway, so I'm getting there. The reason I can definitely say this is a fail is because when I was pregnant and in the beginning stages of my pregnancy with Levi, I wasn't into makeup. I wasn't doing my makeup every day. I was just kind of doing the bare minimum when it came to, you know, my skincare. And I noticed my lips were extremely dry just because I do kind of struggle with hydration when, you know, in the beginning stages of pregnancy because I feel so sick. So I was putting this on so many times a day, and just because I didn't feel like doing that much to myself, I ended up only doing this. I wasn't really doing much skincare at all. Definitely not every day, just since I wasn't wearing makeup every day. There were definitely many days where I didn't do anything to my face besides put this on before I went to bed and maybe a couple times throughout the day. And it never helped my lips at all. Like, they were still so dry and patchy. They were still so peely. I still got a couple of blisters or cold sores on my lips during the time that I was using this exclusively. So there's nothing magical about this, and I think Jen pointed out in her video that it doesn't really do much for you except create a good barrier for your skin. So when I've been using it in recent months and to try to get through this is I make sure I do my skincare and all that, and I only apply this right before bed after I've put on all my skincare and after I've kind of let that soak into my lips. Then I'll put this on top, and it really helps seal it in and provide like a barrier to allow your lips and everything that you've already put on to really soak in and help your lips out. And that's the way I've been using it, and that's the way it's helped. But honestly, I feel like you could do that with any really thick type of balm. What is it? Carmex has a really thick one. Or Vaseline. You can put, like, Vaseline has one you can put on your lips. That's a couple dollars. So just knowing how expensive this was, it was a huge fail for me because I was like, it does what any thick. I could probably put Crisco on my lips and it would do the same as this does for me and just create a barrier to kind of let all the good stuff that I put, the moisturizers and serums and oils, let that soak in overnight. So yeah, this was just a huge fail. And I mean, I'm using it up. I'm not wasting money, but I kind of wasted money in purchasing this. But you guys know what I mean. I'll get my money's worth out of it. I'll use it up, but never gonna plan to repurchase. Next up is this Shea Moisture Green Coconut and Activated Charcoal Purifying and Hydrating Cleansing Balm with White Tea. Whew, that's a mouthful. I picked this up from Ulta because I was super intrigued. It just sounded really nice. Like it would be a really nice cleansing balm. I like cleansing balms. I kind of like them right now. I'm into them a little more than oils, but you know, I kind of go back and forth between cleansing balms and cleansing oils. But anyway, I saw this on the Ulta website. I was like, let me try that out. I never hear anyone talk about that. I'm always trying to look for a new cleansing balm that I like, so I picked it up. I still have a whole lot in here and I really don't want to use it up because, oh my goodness, it's slimy. Like, I used it again last night just to refresh my memory because it's been a while since I've tried this and put it aside and was just like, I don't like that. So last night I was like, let me remember why I don't like that. I remember it was hard to get off, but that was all I could remember. So I used it last night. Oh my goodness, the image that popped into my head after I had like massaged it all onto my face and I was going to wash it away with water was that it felt like I had just put butter all over my face. You know how when you get butter really coated on your hands and you go to try to rinse it off in water, it just kind of smears and slimes everywhere, and it just takes so much scrubbing with so much soap and water to try to get butter completely off your skin? That's what this feels like. It wasn't fun, and on top of that, it really didn't take my makeup off. I ended up having to put this on. I massaged it. I tried to use water to remove it. That wasn't working, so I used some face soap to kind of remove it. That kind of worked. I ended up going on with some cleansing oil, putting that all over my face and really letting it soak in a massage, and then rinsing that off, and then doing my facial soap again to get everything off in order to get this off. I don't like it. I think I probably used it less than 7 times, just because I know I didn't use it that many times when I originally tried it. This was a couple months back when I first opened it, but ooh, no, it's just I don't like the feel of it on my skin. It's just so hard to get off, and literally just put butter on your face and you'll know exactly what this feels like. I won't repurchase that. Total fail for me, and I really don't want to finish using it either. This is kind of short and sweet, but this is the Pixi Vitamin C Juice Cleanser with orange flower, water, and it's a brightening cleanser. There's always a lot of words on there. But anyway, I don't know what it is in here. I guess I could have stuck the ingredients in to kind of figure out and see, but this breaks me out. And well, I shouldn't say break out because it's not anything crazy, thankfully, but every time I use this, I put it in my routine, then I stopped for like a week or two, put it back into my routine for a couple days, stop for a week or two, and then put it back into my routine for a couple days. That's how I tested this, and every time I started using this to clean my face in the morning, because it is a cleanser, and it's one that no need to rinse, which was why I thought, ooh, I can use this in the morning, no need to rinse, perfect. I like to clean my face off in the morning at my makeup table. I don't want to go wash. This would be perfect. So every time I try to do that, at the end of that night, it would be as soon as the night I used this, I would see little whiteheads. And it, like I said, it wasn't anything like deep underneath my skin, but it did something to the surface layer of my skin where it would just kind of create little tiny white bumps sporadically. And they weren't anything serious. Like I said, they would go away, you know, relatively quickly after I stopped using these, or I would just kind of pop them to get the white stuff off, and it would clear up and be gone. But I don't want my face breaking out if I don't have to. And like I said, I tried 3 different times, and every time I started adding this to my routine, I started to see the little white bumps popping up all over the place. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is that was like not jiving with my skin, but after trying it, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want something that's gonna make little white zits pop up on my face. I'm good. So yeah, this was a fail, even though I really wished it would work because I like the idea, like I said, of the no rinse cleanser. It's super easy to put your cotton pad on the top and pump it up, but it was a dud. Next up is the Bliss I Do All Things Hydrating Eye Gel. This one I really had high hopes for because not only is it affordable, but it has this little gel roller ball as a tip that you can, and not only the product comes out of, but you can use it to kind of massage on and apply the cream. And I thought it was a really neat idea, and I had, like I said, I had high hopes for this, but this one's a little bit trickier to review just because I'm not 100% sure. But 2 things I noticed during the time that I used this, I want to say I was using this for at least a month, if not 2 months, is that my under eyes, the lines and the dryness under my eyes got 10 times worse. Like, it was just so dry. No matter like the best concealer that I used, it would just still sit and settle and just settle. It would just sit and settle into all the crevices under my eyes just because they were so prominent. So that's something I noticed, but I was like, you know what, it's the winter time. Maybe that's just something that'll happen anyway. But another thing I noticed is I started to get in white kind of clogged pores right here around my eye area and up in here as well, because tend to be when I use these, I tend to kind of just, I focus under my eyes, but I kind of bring it up and whatnot. I kind of massage the whole eye area. So I noticed I was getting these really clogged little pores. They weren't whiteheads, they weren't any kind of acne. They were definitely just clogged little hard bumps. And I was like, that's interesting. And then I was trying to see if this was causing the line, so I stopped using it and I went back to my beloved Dermalogical Stress Positive Eye Lift and started using that in the mornings instead of this. And not only did my lines under my eyes clear up or just get significantly better, I still have lines under my eyes, but it got so much better. But on top of that, the clogged pores and the little white spots that were getting on pretty much all around here, but I got a couple up in my brow and a couple, maybe 1 or 2 on this eye. Anyway, it went away. So I'm pretty sure this is the culprit, and ever since I realized that, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not seeing those little clogged pores anymore. I wonder if it was this thing. So ever since then, I haven't really wanted to try it out again just because I don't want to do that to myself. And it took a long time of using this for me to start to see that. So I feel like it's something that gradually built up. But anyway, all that to say, this did not work for me. Not only did it possibly cause like clogging of my skin around there, but it also just didn't do anything to help brighten and kind of plump up the skin under my eyes, and it just kind of caused the drying issue not to be worse. Maybe it just didn't do anything, and that's how dry my under eyes are. But there was a marked difference when I went from using this to this during the day. So I feel like right there that says something. So yeah, as much as I wish this would have worked, it would have been nice to see if like duping purposes, because they both have a cooling tip and whatnot, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, next up, I'm so frustrated on, because I hear so many people raving about this and how it's just so easy to just remove all your makeup at the end of the night, not have to worry about all these different steps. So I finally got the makeup eraser. And now before I kind of really harp on it, it's not like I wasted my money, because when I was buying this, I was like, you know what? I do a lot of eye swatches. This is very like soft feeling. I bet it'd be really nice to help my eyes dry, like dry my eyes off, but still remain gentle between eye swatches. So that was the main reason I got it, because I wanted to have it at my makeup table for when I'm doing eye swatches and needing to dry off my face and get the makeup off. So I don't feel like I wasted my money, because I'm still able to use it for that. But before I started using it for that, I was like, I want to see what the hype is. Does this really get your makeup so easy? Could I possibly stop buying my cleansing balms and whatnot and just go with this? And the first time I used it was right after Levi was born, and I was so tired the day we came home from the hospital. I fell asleep while I was feeding him in the chair with my makeup on, and so it was probably like midnight or something, finally got up, put Levi to bed, and I was like, oh, let me just take my makeup off real quick. So I went to the bathroom, wet this, and I started going, and I found out that I probably used it a little wrong, because I didn't leave it soak. Like, I wet it really well and then I squeezed it out because I didn't want it dripping everywhere. And later I learned it's really good to leave it soaked, which is something I don't like, but we'll get to that. Anyway, I was going and it would not remove my eye makeup. My mascara wasn't budging, and my liner, I think my liner was mostly gone, but my mascara wasn't budging, and I know my face wasn't completely cleaned of makeup. So that was my first experience with it. And like I said, I kind of went on and chatted with a couple friends who have this to get their tips, and they said, you know, use warm water and then leave it dripping, you know, leave a lot of water in there and then use it. And I got a lot more success with doing that, but two things that I still don't like with even using it the correct way and using it the best way is that while it does remove almost all my makeup, it never fully removes my mascara, and it never fully cleans my face. Like, after I use this, I go with a toner on top of my skin on a cotton pad, and there's so much foundation still left on my face. And that's something I never see whenever I do a double cleansing method with a cleanser and a face wash. So it's definitely something I could never use this as a shortcut to my skincare routine at night to get my face clean and kind of go on with the toner and just skip the two-step cleansing. I never use this because it does not get my face clean. And then on top of that, I just don't like that you have to leave it dripping, because unless you're like hunched over the sink and like using it like that, you're just gonna get water I got water all over my shirt. I feel like that was super messy. I'd rather just use a cleansing balm and then take the water, bend over the sink, and just splash it and be done with it, instead of taking this dripping wet, leaning over the sink, trying to rub. And that's another thing. Like, people say this is super gentle. Maybe this is very gentle if you've been used to taking your makeup off with like makeup remover wipes. But for me, who uses like cleansing balms and stuff, so it's just my skin, I felt like I was really tugging and pulling and just like being very rough. Rougher than I am when I use cleansing balms when I use this. So I was like, how is this more gentle? Like, I was really having to kind of pull and tug. And I do understand there's two different sides. And I was using the right side to remove the makeup, the correct short side or whatever. But yeah, I don't get the hype for it. And I finally bought it and I was like, let me see what the hype is all about. No, thank you. I'll stick to my two-step cleansing method and just take a couple extra minutes to get my face clean, because I don't know. It's just too rough, too messy, my normal method, I feel like, is a lot quicker, maybe because I'm used to it, but it's a lot quicker and just kind of one and done. I get through it all and I'm done. Instead of trying to sit there, get this really soaked, and then trying not to make a mess everywhere as you're wiping and getting it all over the place, and then having to pull my skin to pieces every night. I don't know. I just didn't think it was that gentle. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this into the video at some point. I know I'm a different day, different makeup look. If you're curious to know how I got this look, it is a tutorial on my channel. It was a fun little candy inspired makeup. I'll leave the link up here if you want to go watch it, because that will already be live. But I can't believe I forgot one of the beauty fails, and this was a big one I wanted to include. So even though I hate doing this in videos, I am going to do it for this one because I really do want to make sure I include it so I don't forget again. But this is the Bliss Makeup Melt Dry Wet Gentle Jelly Cleanser with Rose Flower. This is such a dud. I cannot believe how bad it is. I feel like maybe it was just when this came out, but I feel like I used to hear people saying good things about this. So when Bliss did send this to me, I was like, ooh, I cannot wait to try it out. I remember seeing it in my teens, so this is years ago, but I remember seeing YouTubers use it and just thinking like, ooh, that sounds like a really cool cleanser. I like the idea of it. It seemed like it would be a good like 2-in-1 product, because it kind of can be a cleansing balm, but then also be a soap, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I thought this would be a great first step to get my makeup off before I wash my face. And the idea of this is that you apply this wet and it's like a jelly consistency, but you apply it, sorry, not wet. You apply it dry first and massage it in just like you would a cleansing balm. And then once it's massaged into your makeup, then you wet it and it becomes a soap and you can soap up your face and wash it off. So that's where the 2-in-1 aspect comes in. I still plan to wash my face after using this, but I thought it'd be neat and maybe if I was in a pinch every now and then to use it as a 2-in-1 for both my cleansing balm and my face soap. Anyway, I tried this and no joke, I just used it in the shower the other night and I went in, I did what I was supposed to on a dry face, massaged it around, and then I lathered it up with the water and then I rinsed it off and I had so much makeup still left on my face. I did it 2 more times of massaging this onto my face. Now granted, it was already wet at this point, but I used it as a face soap, massaging it on, trying to get my makeup off, and when I got out of the shower and looked in the mirror, I still had eyeshadow on my eyes. Like that's how much it did. Like I couldn't even take off eyeshadow. I was shocked. And then I ended up washing my face with another face soap. And when I did my toner, I still could see a little bit of foundation coming off. Now for me personally, I don't really expect my face soap or like whatever kind of facial wash I use after my cleansing balm to really remove much makeup. It's just kind of making sure the cleansing balm's all off and any little remnants. But there was just so much makeup left with this that my, you know, facial wash could not get it all off. And I just, yeah, so much foundation still left on my face and eyeshadow. Like I said, for me typically when I use a cleansing balm and then a facial soap afterwards, the most I'll have left on my face is mascara and sometimes eyeliner, but usually it's just mascara that I have to get off. But with this, there was still eyeshadow on my face. So I know I sound like a broken record going on and on about eyeshadow, but come on, like eyeshadow has got to be the easiest thing to remove. It's powder and just such a little bit. And I massaged my eyes for a good bit because I kind of always like to try to get as much mascara off as I can before I get out of the shower. There's still left eyeshadow on my face. So yeah, it was a huge dud. I have about half of it left, or a little over half. I'm right here, but that's simply because I just have to use so much every time I get into the shower and use it. But yeah, it's gonna stay in my shower until I finish it up because it's just no way I want to use this on a nightly basis. So on the rare occasion that I jump in the shower with a full face of makeup, then I'll use this. And then I've also just been using it if I ever take a shower in the morning before I have my foundation or like my makeup done. I'll just use this to cleanse my face. So that's kind of how I've been using it, because as a makeup remover, totally would not recommend this. And yeah, there are so many better ones for around the same price or cheaper. I feel like I don't remember how much this one, but Good Molecules has a cleansing balm for $16 that lasts a long time and that does a fantastic job. So yeah, this was a huge dud. Do not recommend, and I will never repurchase. Alright, so there you have it. Those are a couple of fails for me from the recent months. Not too long, but I like to do these kind of regularly so the videos don't get too long and lengthy and whatnot. But I hope you guys found that informative. I should have said it at the beginning, but this is not a video to like bash any of these brands and say these brands are terrible. Every brand has hits and misses, and these products I'm sharing with you are just the misses that I wanted to make sure I brought to you so you guys are aware of them, because I feel like if I'm not careful, I can just always talk about the hits and hits and hits, or I can just not even mention skincare altogether. And I like to be well-rounded on the channel of sharing the things that work as well as things that don't, in the hopes that it'll help you as you're kind of shopping and figuring out what you need, maybe save a few dollars, or maybe help you make a better decision which one would be best for you. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button on your way out. That would really help me out in the whole YouTube algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend a couple minutes with me here, and I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.